Hi, I'm Andrew Collinge. I'm Assistant Director here at the Greater London Authority, and it's my job to provide the Mayor and policy customers in the GLA with intelligence that helps them form strategy and policy and run a successful London. I first heard about mastodoncy in a report called Data Wars, written by Nesta, the innovation charity, and in that report I started to hear a story about how mastodoncy were using data science and programming expertise to answer public sector problems and challenges, and that was of real interest to me. We first came into contact with mastodoncy when we were considering how we could update our modelling capacity here at the Greater London Authority. We were aware of something called the SBRI, the Small Business Research Initiative, which is run by Innovate UK, the innovation body for UK government. And what we really needed was a partner who understood public sector challenges, who understood the technical aspects of modelling and what was possible with data programming, so that we could do exactly just that. The problem that we have with modelling at the Greater London Authority is that we have lots of experts and lots of separate models. These are people who are really good technically and they understand how their energy model, their housing model, their transport model works. What we don't have, or what we didn't have, is an ability to relate those models to one another that would allow us to see how London was working in a wider sense. The other problem that we had is that we needed to create a secure data sharing environment. We have a London data store, but that is a very public and a very open data platform. With some of the more sensitive forms of data that we use here at the Greater London Authority, or that we want to see used, it's important that we can create an environment which, on the basis of data itself, or on the basis of users, we want to permit people access to that data so that they can get full value out of it. We did not have that facility before we started working with mastodoncy. One of the other things that we wanted to achieve through working with mastodoncy on the WITAN project was to create a cloud-based clustered server environment in which we could use these larger data sets to better effect than we could do through traditional means. We chose mastodoncy as a partner because in going through, I suppose, a get-to-know-you period, it became apparent to us that we were dealing with people as well as technical experts, and that to us is really important because we need both hearts and minds. We need people who are interested in doing good with data and doing good with programming and changing the way that public services run, but we also need that level of technical expertise as well. And that is something that became obvious to us when you look at some of the work that mastodoncy has done in the past. Mastodoncy first came to our attention when they were being incubated at the ODI, and we noticed that they were doing work on spotting patterns in the prescribing of prescription drugs on the NHS, where they came up with some pretty eye-watering sums of money that could be saved if you used a data science approach to tackle that particular problem. The impact of working with mastodoncy has been as much cultural as it has been technical. So yes, there have been technical advances, and yes, we now do have a secure data sharing environment which is tremendously useful to the Greater London Authority. Working with mastodoncy has been a pleasure. We found that ourselves working with people who really care about the task in hand. Of course they care from a business perspective, but they also care, I think, about making technology work for London and work for the Greater London Authority. We have, of course, in any project where you are trying to do something new, found ourselves in the occasional moment where there have been creative differences. But because you're working with people, you always manage to cut through to the other side and do something that you consider to be properly valuable. I recommend mastodoncy because they are experts in their field, they are small, and they are personal, and they are personable. With them you always get sound advice, you get proactive advice, and you get progress. This isn't something that you would always see if you worked with a larger organisation who on occasion could be more impersonal. I think most of all with mastodoncy you get impact. and an ability with inquiring minds and the expertise that they have around data and the uses to which it can be put, the best chance of making progress in what are knotty, difficult public service issues. I think now we are only just starting to reach the point where, as a collective, in a city like London, you have public services who are understanding the power of data and what you can do with it. Key to that is having a data platform and solid data infrastructure that allows for data to be shared in an appropriate fashion and for the right talents to be grouped around that data. Therefore, what we've done with Mastodon C is absolutely critical to that future.